Welcome, everyone, to Ladder Daily Digest. Today, we're going to tease to you an upcoming episode. We're going to be interviewing author Matthew Harris, who has just completed a book called Second Class Saints, and we're going to have him on later on in June for an interview. The book officially comes out on July 1st. You could pre-order right now. And this is actually my first book that I've ever got as a pre-publication book from the publisher, and it's kind of fun that I'm able to secure this book. So here we have the title, Second Class Saints by Matthew L. Harris. Here's what the cover of the book looks like. I thought I would read a little bit from the introduction. The policy was colloquially known as the priesthood ban, but it was more far-reaching than that. It meant that Black Latter-day Saints couldn't hold the priesthood, solemnize their wedding vows in Mormon temples, marry someone of another race, sermonize in worship services, bestow priesthood blessings on their children, give Sunday school lessons, offer pastoral counsel, count church tithes, or serve church missions. They were the only racial minorities designated for these exclusions, and not surprisingly, their pain has been acute and long-lasting. Black Latter-day Saint Melody Jackson, still bearing the trauma of the ban, reflected, "The church refused to grant the black body whole recognition and divinity. To Nephi, I was not fair and delightsome. To Joseph, I was a violator of the most sacred principles of society, chastity, and virtue. To Brigham, I was Cain's curse. To Bruce R. McConkie, I was an unfaithful spirit, a fence sitter." And so that's the introduction to the book. And the reason why I'm putting out this episode today is because we're in the midst when the priesthood revelation came about. It's been documented that Spencer W. Kimball probably received the revelation around June 1st, 1978. Now, there is no, let's say, formal revelation mentioned, just the press release. Also, in the introduction, the full story, told here for the first time, explores such contingent moments and provides an illuminating backstory to Kimball's revelation. In the 3 decades before he lifted the ban, Mormon leaders were engaged in a vigorous debate about whether to keep it in light of the apostles' ambitious attempt to globalize the church. Their clashes were lively, fraught with emotion, and bitterly contested. These took place behind closed doors, leaving Latter-day Saints largely unaware of what was transpiring. On one side of the debate were church liberals, namely Apostle Hugh B. Brown, Apostle Adam S. Benyon, General Authority Marion D. Hanks, and Mormon intellectuals Lowry Nelson, Sterling McMurrin, and Lowell Benyon. Opposing them were the ultra-conservatives, of whom I call hardliners, whose most important spokespersons include Apostle Joseph Fielding Smith, his son-in-law Apostle Bruce R. McConkie, Apostles Ezra Taft Benson, Mark E. Peterson, and others. So you can see that this book will finally explore the whole coming of the revelation on blacks in the priesthood. Official Declaration Number 2, to whom it may concern. On September 30, 1978, at the 148th Semi-Annual General Conference of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, the following was presented by President N. Eldon Tanner, first counselor in the First Presidency of the Church. Early in June of this year, the First Presidency announced that a revelation had been received by the Spencer W. Kimball, extending priesthood and temple blessings to all worthy male members of the Church. President Kimball has asked that I advise the conference that after he had received this revelation, which came to him after extended meditation and prayer in the sacred rooms of the Holy Temple, he presented it to his counselors, who accepted it and approved it. It was then presented to the quorum of the 12 apostles, who unanimously approved it, and was subsequently presented to all other general authorities, who likewise approved it unanimously. President Kimball has asked that I now read this letter. June 8, 1978. To all general and local priesthood officers of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints throughout the world. Dear brethren, as we have witnessed in the expansion of the work of the Lord over the earth, we have been grateful that people of many nations have responded to the message of the restored gospel and have joined the church in ever-increasing numbers. This in turn has inspired us with a desire to extend to every worthy member of the church all the privileges and blessings which the gospel affords. Aware of the promises made by the prophets and presidents of the church who have preceded us, that at some time in God's eternal plan, all of our brethren who are worthy may receive the priesthood, and witnessing the faithfulness of those from whom the priesthood has been withheld, we have pleaded long and earnestly in behalf of these our faithful brethren, spending many hours in the upper room of the temple, supplicating the Lord for divine guidance. He has heard our prayers, and by revelation has confirmed that the long-promised day has come when every faithful, worthy man in the church may receive the holy priesthood, with power to exercise its divine authority and enjoy with his loved ones every blessing that flows therefrom, including the blessings of the temple. Accordingly, all worthy male members of the church may be ordained to the priesthood without regard for race or color. Priesthood leaders are instructed to follow the policy of carefully interviewing all candidates for ordination to either the Aaronic or the Melchizedek priesthood to ensure that they meet the established standards for worthiness. We declare with soberness that the Lord has now made known his will for the blessings of all his children throughout the earth, who will hearken unto the voice of his authorized servants and prepare themselves to receive every blessing of the gospel. Sincerely yours, Spencer W. Kimball and Eldon Tanner, Marion G. Romney, the First Presidency. And then they announced that they proposed that the congregation is assembled accept the revelation, and they had the all in favor, please signify by raising your hand. Any opposed by the same sign. And then they say the vote to sustain the foregoing motion was unanimous in the affirmative. Salt Lake City, Utah, September 30, 1978. So the church's announcement made it seem like the problem was just that the Lord was withholding priesthood from the male members of the African race, when unfortunately it also relegated all those with African blood were unable to participate in the established covenants, blessings, and all the things offered to every other member of the church. And so we're going to have Matthew on in a few weeks, and I hope everyone can like and subscribe. We'll put the next video out as soon as we can once we get the interview accomplished. Thanks everyone for watching. Bye-bye.